Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS news for Monday, August 3. Government will be launching a design competition inviting creative engineers and architects to submit designs for housing solutions across the island. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says this is part of his administration's efforts to lower the costs for delivering housing developments.
We're going to be calling up on our engineers and our architects to come together with engineering designs, architectural designs, and material selections that would see a lower cost but high quality solution that we can use and replicate right across Jamaica.
Mr. Holness says more details will be revealed this week. He made the announcement during a recent ceremony to hand over 2 more units under the social housing component of the HOPE program. The 3-bedroom and 2-bedroom units were built at Moorpen in Old Harbour Bay, St. Catherine. They are intended for persons who do not have an income and would not have a chance to purchase a house on the open market. Government will be taking steps to review and amend the Education Act to ensure it reflects a modern and culturally inclusive position that protects our children from being barred from any educational institution on the basis of wearing locks as an ordinary hairstyle, irrespective of religious reasons. That announcement comes from Prime Minister Andrew Holness in a statement released on Emancipation Day. He was responding to recent developments surrounding the case of a 7-year-old child who was barred from attending school because of the style of her hair. The Prime Minister says that while government awaits the Supreme Court's written decision on the case, his administration is adamant that there should be no law that could be interpreted to allow for a child to be discriminated against or deprived of his or her right to an education on the basis of hairstyle. Mr. Holness says he's committed to ensuring that every child is treated fairly within Jamaica's education system, reiterating that his government stands firmly against discrimination against any student on any basis. Meanwhile, Culture Minister Olivia Grange says she has also requested that a team involving the legal officer in her ministry review the ruling on the young child being denied access to a primary school due to her dreadlocks and advise her on the next steps. She is also calling for the finalization of a national school and work grooming policy to be accelerated.
Work is already ongoing with government ministries, departments, and agencies to ensure that new guidance issued on grooming and appropriate appearance for work or school does not target specific hair textures and hairstyles, race, or religion. We must accelerate the finalization of this new policy.
In the meantime, Minister Grange says her ministry is advanced in its work to establish a dress code commission that will reflect the principles and values of independent Jamaica.
A dress code policy will be promulgated very soon to reflect the principles and values of independent Jamaica, promoting respect for our cultural identity and expression, inclusivity and diversity, and will also take into account our other realities, ranging from the economic to the climatic factors. The policy will set the tone for other needed areas of reform, including changes in our legislation.
Negotiations are advanced with one private laboratory to begin COVID-19 tests as early as this week. Director of Services at the National Public Health Laboratory, Dr. Michelle Hamilton, made the announcement on Thursday. She was speaking at the Health Ministry's weekly virtual COVID Conversations press briefing. Dr. Hamilton also revealed that discussions were underway with 5 other facilities as the demand for testing continues to grow.
We are aware that there is increased demand for tests from persons who would like to travel for business, for pleasure, for persons who need to go back to school, and some who need a COVID test for employment. There will be more to come in terms of how all the other laboratories that we are dealing with fit into our comprehensive picture. But in the immediate future, we are dealing with the needs of those who require a COVID test to carry out their activities.
Dr. Hamilton pointed out, however, that not all public hospitals and laboratories in the island will be able to conduct COVID testing because the polymerase chain reaction PCR test that is being utilized in Jamaica requires sophisticated equipment and a fairly complex laboratory. She says most of the laboratories and hospitals did not have the facility or equipment to carry out PCR testing. As it regards current testing, Dr. Hamilton said Jamaica had resumed testing incoming samples for COVID-19 since July 25, while at the same time working to clear the backlog of 10,000 tests over the next 2 weeks. She explained that the ministry was not able to meet the July 31 deadline to clear the backlog due to the international demand for reagents.
We have cleared well over half of the backlog, but we have over 3,000 samples still remaining in the backlog. So our current approach is two-pronged. Over the next 2 weeks, we will complete the clearance of the backlog samples. Samples arriving from the 25th of July will now be tested within our usual turnaround time of 24 to 48 hours.
And finally, Culture Minister Olivia Grange says the restrictions put in place to contain the spread of COVID-19 will not dampen our spirit of independence this year. She was speaking at the Emancipation and Independence Thanksgiving service held on Sunday at the Portmore Church of God in St. Catherine. It was held under the 2020 festival theme, Resilient and Strong, Let's Celebrate Jamaica 58. Minister Grange thanked Jamaicans for their resilience in coping with stress and adversity and in bouncing back to a previous state of normal functioning.
We have done much better than many of the large countries in the world. And I want us to this morning thank the Jamaicans here and abroad for being resilient and strong, and to thank our Prime Minister for leading us in a very powerful way to ensure we can overcome.
She is urging persons to participate in this year's Jamaica Spirit of Independence competition by decorating buildings and public spaces in the national colors. The rules and guidelines for the competition are available on the JCDC's website, jcdc.gov.jm. Jamaicans at home and abroad are also encouraged to tune in to this year's live stream of Grand Gala.
As in previous years, the event will be shown live on television of our Grand Gala. But this year, it will not be the Grand Gala. It will be called a spectacular. And this is being beamed from the television studios and virtually online.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.